a hero's only as good as the villain they have to go up against. That's the old adage. Let's talk about Thanos. 10 years of building up to this character. First kind of seen in Avengers 1, and now he's a fully fledged character. Or was he? Did you think he was a fully realized character? Did you like him? Joshua, let's start with you.
Yeah, I felt like Thanos immediately goes to the top tier of Marvel villains. I don't know if his whole shtick of being this like amoral philosopher who wants to balance the universe will ever compare to something as real and relatable as raw as Killmonger, but he's certainly up there. Like, I think check mark, they did great with Thanos. And I think it all came down to getting to really know him to the point where this was a Thanos movie, right? There was a lot of thought they put into his character. We see him, he's in the full armor, but once he gets, I think the second stone, he puts it in, he takes off the armor, and as a sign of I feel empowered by these stones. It's almost like a religious like ceremony of like, I don't need this anymore. I'm one step closer to my goal, and I've become so powerful that armor is the last thing I need. Like I have control over reality, space, time. So I thought that was really cool as they showed him evolve. And then of course they had to find a heart, right? There's the sort of big thing of he lost his people. We see he wipes Titan away with the reality stone, or actually puts it back the way it was so we can see the glimpse of what he lost. But then there was the really personal note of Gamora, and that was actually the sort of the crux of the whole story for him. Yes, of just Gamora was like, that wasn't love, right? When he has to sacrifice her. And that was the scene where actually I want to go back and watch it again, because I think for him to have gotten the Soul Stone successfully, he had to have actually loved her. So I think that was actually
it wasn't a lie,
a shock, because I actually believed her. I was like, yeah, he doesn't understand what love is, but maybe he actually does. And that's someone who could love and still do that is pretty impressive for a character.
That image at the end,
yes,
after he snaps his finger.
For them to do that was an incredible, and just to translate it for maybe someone who didn't pick it up in the movie is when she says, what did it cost? And he says, everything. He's not talking about the universe. He's talking about he lost her.
Titan or anything.
Yeah, he lost everything that got him to that point. And I will actually say, like, for all that I was sort of knocking the previous character development, not necessarily carrying over, the one thing I thought I at least personally really felt was like the entire backstory between Gamora and Nebula and how Thanos had ruined their lives. Like when Gamora goes in to save Nebula and like the dynamic between them, I think you really feel that. And I was like very emotionally connected to that and didn't need as much re-explanation of why it was so hard for her. And it's interesting because it's almost like, you know, we've been hearing for a while that this was going to be a Thanos movie, but it's an Avengers movie, right? And then you see it, and I think it's about at when Thanos needs to sacrifice Gamora that it shifts and is almost a bit more about him. And you referred to it earlier in this, that, you know, he gets the hero's ending even though he's the villain. And I think that's so interesting because I think the biggest goal in this movie was not to make you like Thanos, but to make you understand Thanos, so that by the time he does have that cathartic conclusion, you don't empathize with what he's after, but you understand his goals and motivations and why to him he is the hero of the story and why he did feel just this compulsion. Like it wasn't a joy to kill everyone, it was like a need to bring balance, and that's the amoral philosopher thing. I don't think all of it lands. I would have liked the movie, honestly, to have gone a little bit deeper into that, but by the end of the movie I was like, I understand why you think you're the hero. I understand why you did what you did. And obviously it freaking sucks. But I think that ultimately is a big success of the movie, that it ended in that way.
That's about as close to like Greek tragedy as they're going to get in the MCU. Because the thing I liked about Thanos was that there was a method to his madness, and he's not crazy. He's not crazy. He's methodical, and if he could find a way to do it without doing XYZ, he would have done it that way. I think a couple of the issues I had with the character were more about like whenever he went into battle or who was helping him. He has his flunkies, the children of Thanos. I know good help is tough to find. They've established that in the past movies. Fine, I'll do it myself, and he goes and gets the gauntlet. But they don't bring out the demon horde of goblins. What are they again?
The Outriders.
The Outriders, right? Until they come to Wakanda. Otherwise, it's just him. He's got to do it himself. Like seriously, there's no flunkies for you to send anywhere to nowhere to even coming to Earth. It's
Well,
like he literally just rolls in like, I'm here. You know?
I would
uses the Black
assume.
Order.
I would assume he used the Black Order in nowhere. He just left a trap for Gamora because he knew
Alright.
that she would come to try and get it. Like he has been sending. In this movie, I think they did a good enough job of establishing that he was sending the Black Order to get the remaining stones, and they helped him obviously get the first one as well. But this just goes back to my larger issue with the Black Order. I'm like, did you need them? Couldn't he have just done it himself?
Well, I mean,
Like,
you need cannon fodder of some
For
of some
things to
kind.
fight.
For
Yeah.
things to fight. But I agree with you guys that if I hadn't already known some of their names from just toys and from being at Comic-Con and stuff like that, I would be like Skinny Pete, Big Bob, and Mistress Midnight. Or whatever
Yeah.
her name is. The
they
cool
did not
bad
establish them
lady,
at
you know?
all. They
Right.
brought in
Yeah.
like 4 new characters that you're just like,
I will
I
say,
guess I'll get that action figure, you know. But, yeah.
I do bear a lot of love from them from the
Yeah.
comics. But that aside, I did think Ebony Maw was pretty interesting of how he was treating Thanos like this sort of religious figure and sort of preaching the good
He's gonna
word
get
of.
sucked out into space. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
Ebony
okay.
Maw. He's the one
Yes.
with all the cool powers and had like his telekinesis
The most
and was
dialogue.
like.
I thought he was going
Tor-
to be using the Reality Stone on Doctor Strange because we had seen in the trailer where he had all like the icicles at him, and I was like,
Yeah.
those are your
Yeah,
powers. That's very
but
cool.
those were. I actually liked him. I was a little sad when he went away because he was growing on me as just a really cool, very imposing villain. Speaking of imposing villains, Thanos sure does know how to make an entrance when he comes in and just beats the crap out of the Hulk. He beats
Yeah.
the strongest one there is, and then later Hulk won't come out of Banner because I'm pretty sure it's that he's scared of Thanos. So I thought, what a way to really set the tone for this villain of he just immediately in the first 10 minutes takes out the Hulk.
You can't
And
see him.
kills Loki.
Yeah, and kills Loki. You can't see him
that's
in this shot, but our producer Tom Jorgensen was just cackling in laughter when Thanos and the Hulk were fighting, and like the Hulk just started taking a beating, and actually pointed out like it's a very similar to the Loki Hulk fight in Avengers as well, which is sort of a cool callback. Except obviously the roles are inverted.
Yeah, now the Hulk is getting smashed into the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, oof.
I will say, Thanos, obviously, we saw a lot of him in this movie, a lot of his background. I will be curious to see what is there to explore about this character in the next one.
Right.
We've already explored ways that he can be defeated, ways that he cannot. The Infinity Gauntlet was destroyed at the end.
broken
It looks,
or something.
broke.
it looked crippled. My theory is that, well, he used one of the stones still, so maybe they have a bit of power left, but they aren't at full power anymore, and the gauntlet itself is shattered. I think to take
Maybe he can't channel it because that was supposed to be how he could like channel all.
Right.
the
So I
stones
think what
together.
they did, it was important to kill the heroes, then take away the device that could undo it with another snap of the fingers. So the heroes have to find a different way to bring everybody back if they are indeed going to do that. They probably are.
So that's what we thought of Avengers Infinity War. We want to hear what you think. Let us know in the comments. Check out IGN's review of the film as well as our breakdown of all of the Easter eggs that we could find. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe on whatever platform you like to watch IGN.